Hello, everyone. Just a few minutes for people to join and then we'll start. Oops. Just gonna give it around until 9:05, and then we'll start just to give some minutes for people to join, if that's cool with everyone. Just a little patience, everyone. Just a little patience, and we get there. I have a couple of idea suggestions for tomorrow, and but I like to have more ideas for myself, for everyone, and then we can analyze, see if there's potential, and then we'll play them. Potato. All right. So I got a couple of chats open, and I know Michael's here. Hope Aitman is here. He's always here. And I guess we can start this relative weakness. We're gonna look for some relative weakness or relative strength, right? Not not everything's bearish, not everything's bullish. Fifty-fifty. Just the way I like it. That's do you guys know that the market is designed to only go up? I mean, obviously it doesn't do that, right? But it's mostly going up. It's designed to do that. That's the whole idea of having so many spider sectors and having defensive sectors, energy, technology, all the stuff. So um, I know a lot of us trade SPY like it's just like a single ticker, but I mean, it's 500 companies. It's a lot of stuff, right? So without further ado, let's start. All right. So what I got in front of me is a chart of ES daily, as we all know. We know what we've been looking at. And it's just gonna be a quick review. Usually I'm gonna be adding levels into this because I mean I think and I repeat this on every charts and chat that um I mean I'm not gonna put every single level that I see on the weekly just like I'm doing right now, you know. Like I can just see them clearly, right? These levels right here, but I'm just gonna try to stay objective to see what we see, at least to what's super important, and to at least today into tomorrow and the next day, right? Because once the weekly candle is formed, then we can analyze the weekly candle and go from there. So I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit and just gonna go and do our usual trend line of the highs right here. So I mean everybody and their mama had this trend line, right? I mean everybody can see it. I had it from since we made this peak. I've been doing this trend line on every chart and chat, every charting session that I do. It's always there. So Um, so what I have right here is, um, I think, I mean, you can tell that the sellers have positioned themselves before it comes in, right? Because I mean, I was ready to build some short positions into this level, and I was what 10 points away from getting there. But like I say, everybody and their mama sees this, and it's a level of interest, right? So it's weak in itself that it didn't even touch it. So there's opportunity of selling right there. So that strikes me as a little bit of bearish. But we have to be objectively speaking that the market has been just running up from very steep right here. I mean, a very steep uptrend right here. That that is only natural that it pulls back. How far does the pullback go, or is this the peak? I mean, we don't know, right? We just have to play through. And people know me that I trade a lot of based on Fibonacci's, retracements and whatnot, and I take those kind of whenever we make some consolidation, we have a consolidation low into a swing high, and I try to take objective short objectives into these levels right here, or try to pick up longs into one of those levels right here, right? So I'm gonna be watching those levels into. If you guys want to put it on your charts, this low, this will you will anchor it into this high right here, and look at if you will short towards the 32 retracement, the 50%, or the 618, right? Now, if you notice, I got two moving averages right here. This is a 20 EMA and this is a 50 EMA, so I got two. And the market is extended from there. We have an extension on the market right there. And the usually, like I use the 20 a lot on the ES, and I know it interacts a lot with it. You know, it's a lot of points of interest, and I know it's far from it, but I know also that the EMAs are subjective because once we were waiting for this pullback to happen, I was aiming for somewhere to this hit, right? It didn't never hit. I thought something was like this was gonna happen and then bounce back. So similar thinking happened right here. And if you just reduce this to the 10 EMA on the daily, you realize that it was actually the pullback into a 10 EMA right here. So first thing first, right? Since they're subjective, you can use the first 10 EMA, and then if it goes down to a 20, then that will be your next target. So, but you can tell that it's extended, right? I mean, you can tell that it's extended from here. So 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 we should think about like, okay, how far could this pull back into? How can where can I short it into, right? We got this uptrend trend line right here, and that's where I will possibly. Trend lines are subjective as well too. I just want to adjust this one to this low right here and show you guys that we had a trend line break right here, but then what it does, it goes back up. So the trend line game is more like they serve as a guide, but they have to be punched through. All right, they have to be punched through. They don't they cannot you cannot trace sideways into a trend line because it's not gonna it is not a it's not crossing, it's not breaking it. It's just passing by, you know. So trend lines are subjective as well, and you have to use them like if it cross with a strength and whatnot, right? So we got that trend line to see if it breaks, like with strength. We'll see if tomorrow we have a candle that breaks it, and we can keep shorting into more downside and whatnot, right? We don't want to see the trend line, this staying like a little candle right here, and then the next day we cross the trend line and just sideways action. We don't want to see that, just for further targets downside, right? So like I say, I'm keeping a watch for levels for tomorrow. I'm adding. I'm sorry. I am adding a little bit, anchoring this low into this high right here. I'm adding the what's it, the 32 retracement right here, the 50%, and the 618 right here. So I'm just, since this one's very close, I'm just gonna bring this one up right here. So those are levels for me to watch out for tomorrow if I think this is gonna go down, which I do, right? But I'm not gonna try to put any bias into your mind right now. We're gonna try to objectively, and my bias changed on the pre-market. Whenever we wake up and I see how the pre-market has acted and see the overnight inventory, if it's staying overly short or overly long, or we're staying in the middle the range of the prior day or whatnot, everything changes. The whole game changes, right? So as of now, per candle structure like this until this candle, I believe we can drop even further, right? Because we're overextended. We're not having hit any retracements. So might as well trade a little bit further down, right? Another red day into tomorrow or so. Um, excuse me. Sorry. All right. So I got a question for Tobias that says, "The SPY looks bullish, or are we going down further?" I mean, just remember what I said, right? It does deserve a pullback. I don't mistake me to like, oh, SPY is gonna go down to 3,700. No, it's just it deserves a pullback. How strong the pullback is, and we assess that, right? If it start crossing all kinds of levels, then I go, okay, this is bearish. Oh, let's keep shorting, let's keep looking for short opportunities. And if it's just a pullback into another leg up, then you know how the game goes, right? So that's that. There's that, right? So a little bit of I just want to go down to the hourly right now. If you see this, a few trend lines that I have right here, they're just a little bit of indication, so I can show you that this thing was going diverging, getting weaker as it was going higher. A lot of divergences going up. If you notice this purple line from this high to this high, we're having some lower RSI coming up, and then this blue one, a little bit of flat RSI, so meaning that it was like a hidden divergence. But to look at the high that we printed right here, and then we had a bullish divergence right here of hidden bullish divergence right here of this lows right here on this low. So things to keep an eye on, right? So you get those divergences play out, you know, you get those peaks right here, and what happens is you trade sideways to down until it doesn't, right? You hit that peak, and then what you do is you break down, you have that divergence, and you trade up. But they just happen. I don't see any divergence on big one on the daily as of right now, but um, I see some divergences on the hourly at least, and I know Potato posted some of the divergences over there. I saw it, and I agree with it. This is what I see right as of right now. So that's what we have right here on ES. I'm gonna go down to the NQ. What's up, man? Go down to the NQ right now. It looks a little messy, I know. So zoom in now. We do have a trendline break right here. And we have a couple of gaps. If you see this is a gap, and you see this is a gap right here. You don't see it right here because it's only on the cash session. And so I'm just gonna zoom in onto what's happening right here on the very close time frames right here. Um, we are still respecting this trend line, I believe. Yeah, we still have this trend line to respect right here. And we have this gap right here. So we're trading sideways into this. I believe we have hit retracements already on this. Yeah, around the 32. So we still get to hit it's holding around the 32 retracement. We could be hitting the 50. We'll see. It's still overextended on the 20 EMA on the daily, and I'm just gonna go down and reduce the 20 to the 10 to see if we actually have a little bit of confluence right there, right? So the 10 held up right here. So, and we're gonna basically look to see if it's gonna do another base around the 10 right here. So, can can you really get overly bearish on a market that's still holding up those higher lows, those moving averages? And remember that shorter the smaller the moving average is, the stronger the uptrend is, right? Because it's not pulling back to the 20, it's pulling back only to the 10. That's very bullish in itself. I, there's not a magic moving average that you think like, okay, I'm gonna use always this one or whatnot. They're subjective, and the smaller, like I said, the smaller it is, the uptrend, the more it goes, right? Um, Alfonso uses a 4, and that's like a very very short moving average, right? Only 4 candles average. And but if you see something holding the 4, is like it doesn't go down further than the 4. It's like that's mega strong. It only goes up, right? Stonks only go up, right? So we got that. Um, Gonna go to the like I said, the NQ do show they don't show divergence right now. they show that they're far from being bearish, and we still gotta keep an eye on this uptrend right here, and we're gonna see how it goes, right? They're far from being bearish. So one of the key stocks that I was watching into today is actually Apple. Apple, if you guys notice, is everybody is the talk of the town because it's so close to being into the all-time highs, and uh, and and it's just that, I mean, that's it. It's overextended, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care what people say. This is so extended. I don't want to get in front of this train. I don't. I would like to make a shorter, right? But it is what it is. It is. It is one of the stocks that it just keeps going up. What can I say? It's just holding some kind of 8 EMA. Yeah, yeah. I think this is holding some kind of 4 EMA. It's one of the strongest stocks out there. So, like, look at this action, right? Doesn't go down further than the four. So this tells you how strong it is, right? How strong it is. It's just ridiculous, right? I'm not gonna get in front of that train, but uh, if there's any bullish indication that the Qs could go higher, it's probably here. It's probably here. This is your trend line. This is your trend line right here, and Apple kind of. I mean, it's a little bit close, a little bit subjective. Did it close above it? Kind of did, right? Kind of did. So you can count that as bullish as of now. I know there's a huge resistance area right here because of look at this candle's highs, and it's selling before that, but the trend line is gone. And then I don't know. It's gonna be very. It's something to watch out for, right? If there's any indication that the Qs can go higher, it's probably right here. And it's selling after hours right now. Selling after hours, but like I said, it's super overextended. Let's see how far it goes down. So I know. I mean, yeah, this is defying any laws against gravity right now. It's just going. It's just going, going, going. So there's that. Um, there's that right there, right? That's the main analysis of where how bullish or bearish the market is, and I'll just go down to the main idea that we are seeing some kind of pullback candles. We see the first one. We can see the second one. I can see another red day tomorrow. But not entirely as a bearish day, to be honest. Not entirely as a bearish day. There's no indication that this is just the start of a leg down, the major breakdown, a major trendline break. Fibo, a 618 broke down, all the stuff that, no, we don't have any of that. So don't go get overly in any direction. It's not the time and place right now, either bullish or bearish, and we're just gonna react to actually the best approach will be reacting to the how the overnight happens, right? When you wake up tomorrow. Doing a little bit of homework today helps for the next day, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys a little bit of the homework that I wanted to show you guys. Well, actually, I'm gonna do go a little bit down the sector lines. So just so you guys can see what I see bullish and bearish or not. Because remember this, the S&P is composed of a lot of a lot of different sectors. I'm just gonna go down the list of bearish to bullish to bearish. So we'll see. I mean, how they closed today, right? There was the only positive one was energy. I think we had some oil numbers that came out, and I'm gonna go through some oil charts right now. The oil plays are one of my favorites right now, and I'll explain you why. And hopefully I'm right because I'm about to throw some sizable longs into it, which I already did actually. I already built some starters on XOM and CVX and Oxy. Um, so what I'm looking for right now is on XLE is that as of right now we have it's holding about the EMAs right here, the 20 and the 50. So it's showing no signs of being overextended, meaning that if this was gonna break out, this could potentially be the starting point. You like to be at the around close to this to be your startup point, right? Something like this, like you see this pulling back into the 20 EMA, and then you see this run up like this crazy, right? But I think this is a special occasion, right? It was when the whole Russia thing was happening, I believe. So right here, what I see on the chart, we see this big level right here on this yellow one, 78.59. So if this starts breaking out, I have it. I have some alerts right here that I'm gonna start longing some oil names, and this will be the next level to take to 80.09. And if that gets taken out, I'll be looking to get those gap fills right here, and then probably this resistance right here, right here, right here, and then right here, right? So level by level, right? That's how it goes, right? Every peak right here, peak, 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 bottom of the gap, boom, boom, right? So those are the key levels that I'm gonna be watching for. Gonna see how it interacts. I see some bullish option flow on XLE and some oil names, so maybe we can throw some oil into the fire and make some nice gains, right? Um, So this is a bullish sector. It was the only green one today, and it can possibly have another green day tomorrow. I'm just gonna combine this looking at oil futures charts right now. I'm gonna show you the crude oil futures chart right here. So very simple. I believe we have seen some kind of low maybe put in. It's a risky low because it hasn't proved itself that it's gonna hold. But you look at the weekly on this peak, it was like a major breakdown right here that happened. It has previous peak, breakout, then it got ballistic because of Russia and whatever. A lot of moves happened. Bounced off the weekly 20 EMA. It got a little bit bearish. It came down. So if you guys traded oil before, you'll know that there's some kind of correlation between this oil future chart and oil names, right? Uh, but the correlation has kind of detached lately. If you look at this side to side, CL and then XLE, you'll see that XLE is actually holding up while oil futures did came down further, right? So what this tells me right now is that I know that the oil stocks get affected by oil futures, and they did not get affected that much by the downside. Let's see how they get affected by the upside. So if this chart is about to have some kind of reversal pattern, then I can see an incremental value into the oil names right here, right? So right off the bat, the thing that favors me, the upside right here, is basically from this low to this low and this low to this low. I used RSI just purely for that, for divergences, and you can see it's happening right here. So if you're a futures trader, maybe you want to long some oil. It depends on your appetite. It's a very risky one. It moves a lot. Every point is like $100, every cent. So it's very risky unless there's micros on oils. You can do micros on oil futures. So it looks very nice. I will expect this to go either to this trend line right here, do some kind of a descending triangle, and then I don't know if it'll do a breakout, but you can at least aim for this, or be a little more realistic and aim for some pivot retracement, right? Because where usually markets turn around whenever they make a leg down, they'll go towards the 38.2, which just happened right here. It kind of reject. They probably go to a 50 and then reject, or a 618 and reject. So it all depends, right? So oil looks good, but I don't know. Like I think that I mean, it's gonna take a while. Those are daily. What you're looking right now is those are daily candles. So just imagine, right, that you're printing daily candles, and I mean, how many days does it take to actually reach resistance and then actually break out, or I'm sorry, or reject, right? So I don't want people to quote me that I'm picking a side. But I do like to, if I spot some divergence like that at the lows, I do like to take a chance on some longs, right? Especially because I see, like I said, XLE um, leading some upside on the market, looking bullish on the chart, and not being affected to the downside on oil futures that much. It's holding up. Go look at some individual names. Like I said, you got CVX, right? That you had this major downtrend, kind of try to break out. You form this trend line, and it's kind of holding it down. But it's basing about the EMAs. It's basing about the EMAs, making some higher highs, looking for possibly another leg up. So worth noting it, right? Um, That's why I've been keeping an eye. Oxy, Oxy, my dear Oxy, does not look that bullish, to be honest. If you look at this daily candle, negative point today, negative 0.85%. It's still about the EMA, so is it this either is a place to pick up a long or watch for the breakdown to start shorting it because this name did not look this bullish. I'm sad about this one because I did get some starters. But you can see on the chart on the daily right here, uh, you can see a big resistance right here off of this line right here, 65, 66, 65, 65 or so. So if you guys wanna, I suggest put some alerts right here because if it goes above it, you know, you're breaking something pretty big that will open the gates into like 67, 83. So it's a lot of money to be made, and Oxy contracts move very nice. So if the oil chart plays out to the upside, then you might see this upside move right here. So it's very very nice to be able to catch. I mean, whenever you're trying to place those reversals that you see divergence, it's very nice to have and catch them from the bottom where it's very hard. And it's never advisable to do it with size. It's you do it with small, you start scaling in, you feel confident about it, and you start going in, at how will be the breakout point and whatnot. But like I said, not everything's bullish on XLE, and I got some names that are and some names that are not, right? Um, so thank you, Fire Spirit. I see your comment. So all individual names, right? They're not all created equal. Oxy is disappointment today, but I have I believe XOM. I have some XOM right here. Basing around the 20, and it's looking like we could have some potential. Like if you look at this, it had this leg down, right? And then he kind of crossed about the 618, rejected, but instead of making a fully rejection onto the prior swing low, you have something like what you would call another a bounce off the other retracement, right? The other side, the 618 on the other side. So got it's trapped to know where to go, but if it's holding about the EMAs, it's bullish. That's as I can say. EMAs about the 20, it's just bullish. Or I will not that it's bullish, but I will opportunity lays into the upside. Well, that's my take, right? Uh, so there's a ton of oil names that are just different. PXD, I don't know. Take your guess, right? Just watch him, see what's up. I like Devon Energy. This is a setup that I have for tomorrow. Now, looking for some real setups if you guys want to put it on your watches or whatnot. The Devon Energy has some very nice contracts. The options move very nicely, and it has one of the favorite setups of everyone, which is the inside candle, right? If you look at the daily range, this is inside the prior day's range, and what you look for is to see if it breaks out of either of those extremes. Since the top is very close to the outside range, you would like to wait for the outside break right here and take it either long right here or short right here. So right now it's like in the middle of the range, and you can be very neutral in the stock and just wait for your trigger to happen, and then boom, you get in, right? Once you get in on something like this, you try to shorten into what will be the previous candle low, into the another candle low that you see nearby, and then ultimately, like you see this little gap right here on the daily, ultimately you will look to see some kind of first rejection of the gap right here into a gap fill of the gap, a gap fill right here into the 20 EMA. So if this was intended to fill the gap right here and touch the 20, that will be a very nice short target, right? So you keep an alert below the inside candle low. It triggers, you short. First target right here, second target right here, right? Um, well, actually, three targets. I'm sorry. This target, this one, and then this one. And this trade, you're possibly gonna see it on. You're gonna see it coming out from me tomorrow. So that's on main watch for me, since I love oil. Oil is my jam. What's up, Fast 2K? uh, yeah. So if it goes right. So it'll be very, very nice. It'll be very, very nice. Um, let's go just to, I'm just gonna go, that was energy, and the other sectors I'm just gonna go quick. And I spent a little bit of time on energy because like I repeat myself, the oil chart could have a reversal point right here, just because of this divergence that it print, and it's still extended from the EMAs, it's extended from any retracements, and that could trigger some upside, right? You could see another leg up into leg down or so. Um, Everybody knows pills. Pills is in oil lungs right now. We talk about it in the morning, or that's what he said. Um, let's go down real quick to utilities. Utilities. Yesterday they made a new high. I don't know if an all-time high, and yes, it is. Yesterday it made a new all-time high. Like I said, um, there's stuff making all-time highs. Even people are kind of surprised about the Apple. Like it's so close to all-time highs, even with this downturn. No, there's a lot of stuff that's still in all-time highs, believe it or not. So utilities is one of them. You don't want to see on a bullish market utilities that high, but I mean it is buying pressure into S&P 500, right? So that's good. I like to add that it is on a very steep uptrend, the super uptrend right here. If the market is gonna really go on bullish on something that is not utilities, you'll see the pullback this into some EMAs, right? The 20 or some kind of feeble retracement. But as of now, I mean, it's holding above the new all-time highs. Utilities on fire, and this one is one of the sectors that has a name that has a ton of weight into the sector, which is Nextera. If you ever trade utilities, you only have to trade Nextera, right? Nextera moves nicely for swings, not exactly for day trades. Very moves very nicely for swings, which options have very low IV. And like I said, if you're bullish or bearish into utilities, this is where you go, right? Because like I believe it's like 17% of the utility sectors, if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, I don't know who you are, Fast 2K. ¿Qué pasó, güey? Um, so XLRE, real estate sector, we're still holding this little uptrend right here. Very small sector, not really something that I trade. Um, I was pulling back, but still having a kind of a bullish day, right? How it pulled back into most of like almost to a half back right here of the day's range. So um, it's still very neutral at that point. XLF, let's look at XLF right now. XLF, I did put this white line right here at 35.53, and I was thinking that if it breaks this high, I was thinking this was one of the biggest resistance. It actually battled through 2 days on it right here, closing 2 days, and it's still open below and closing again, and then finally making a breakout. Now this breakout hasn't taken it anywhere, and I believe it's just because it's overextended, and and I think the candles are still closing above this very major resistance, and I think that opens the door into 3606. So a little, I see some upside into it. I see some upside into it, and I'll be taking if it starts going, I'll be taking some financials on to those levels right there. And if oil goes, financials might go. They usually you see this pair, right? Usually you see like a lot of times you see all kinds of sectors going red, 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 and then you see this, and the market is not that bearish, it's not pulling back that much, but then you see financials on energy just going, picking it up little by little. So that's what we have. Um, XLP ended up as an inside candle right here between inside the prior day's range. It had a huge day on the prior day due to I believe due to Walmart earnings, and then we had Costco and all those names go up. So we have a small gap down right here. Usually, like I said, inside candles, I'll base my trading decision in if it breaks either side of the inside candle. So, like I don't have alerts on this one right now, so I'm just gonna put an alert on the upside, an alert on the downside, and if it breaks either way, I'll look for opportunities, for long or short on XLP names or XLP itself, right? So that's your consumer discretionary. Yes. I urge you guys so you learn every sector that the spider has. That way, you're ready to understand why the market is doing what it's doing. And this is a defensive sector. If the market decides to is throw money into defensives, you know that it's not that bullish. That the whole overall market is not that bullish, but it does. It represents buying pressure always every sector, right? Healthcare actually turned down very bearish today. I don't like this candle right here. It's still in the. It's still, I will say, arguably on this uptrend. If you guys notice right here, this is healthcare. But the candle, I mean, the days range ended up being a doji, very flat, didn't do anything. And if you just look at the intraday range, you close at the lower third of the range. So that's bearish in itself. You know, it made having this made this move up and then having to make the move down is bearish. So it may this may break tomorrow. This may break tomorrow. We'll see how we open on pre-market, and I will look for short opportunities on XLB. So healthcare will be a main watch for tomorrow for me for short, right? So I'll be looking for longs on energy and possibly financials, and then possibly take some shorts on I don't know, PFE. Just look at this bearish candle right here. This is what I mean when it's below the 20, right? Just bearishness right here. Bearish close is closing below the prior day's open right here. That's just bearish right now. And just to be objectively speaking, you take this low into this high right here, just to have room into, like, I don't know, the 50% retracement, possibly the 618, and then I don't know. I will possibly just look for the 50%, but it's not that big, it's not that much. But if it goes even more, it's once you're in a trade that is profitable, all you have to do is manage it, right? If you get on the right direction. So it says that screams is blurry. Where? Let me look at my own stream real quick. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I should have 1080p. I have the nitro and everything. Mm, I don't know. If you need levels or screenshots, I'll send them to you. I'll post them in technical analysis or anything like that. Whatever, however you guys want to deal at it. I wouldn't know how to fix it. I have 1080 s 60 FPS at the moment, and I'm looking at my screen, and it shouldn't be this bright. Actually, my TOS is very dark. My TOS is very dark. Shouldn't be this blurry. Hopefully, it gets fixed soon. Sorry about that, guys. I don't think there's nothing I can do right now. I hope you guys still understand what I'm saying about the charts. So, so going forward, like I said, so there's very nice MRK, let's say. It doesn't look bearish, but you would like to look for weakness onto the healthcare sector, if you're gonna be shorting healthcare until the upcoming day. So this is looking like a bear flag at the moment on J&J, you know. Uh, so I don't have a setup right here. My favorite is gonna end up being PFE possibly. PFE, yeah, yeah. PFE is gonna be one of the setups I possibly short tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And let's go next one. It's XLI. This is industrials. It's still extended. It rejected this trend line right here. It's still below it. Uh, I'm a little bullish on industrials, but I mean there it is when you close up like this candle formation. I don't know if you guys use this strat, but basically once you break this high, you look forwards this high, and sometimes that momentum will carry even further. So, when you have this combination right here, a candle open right here and a candle close right here, just crossing each other like that, um, you look for a little more continuation. But we'll see what happens, right? We'll see. I don't have a Honeywell maybe. So like let's say this name right here. Honeywell is not a bad name to trade. We have some inside candle, the rules, right? Placing some triggers above or below it, and they go from there, right? Triple M or oh, that doesn't look bullish. Triple M doesn't look bullish. Boeing. Somebody asked about Boeing actually. It's just part of the industrials right now. I believe right on this. Somebody corrects me if I'm wrong, but somebody asked about Boeing. So I believe it's because of the trade I took today and gave us 25% or so, and then nothing. Obviously, you or something that I do is put a stop loss, a break even on trades on whatever is profitable. So I take profits on some of the position, and then I switch to other trades, and so I don't have to manage it. I stop loss, a break even, right? It's only the smartest thing to do, guys. Um, it's just part of managing, right? Don't shoot for the stars, just compound, right? So on this name, does not strike me as bullish, but it is holding this level that I have right here. It closed above this level, so it could potentially stop coming down. But a lot of times when I see this, it's possibly gonna head towards the 20 and towards this level right here, possibly because it had this. If it starts trading lower and find acceptance tomorrow into this, it had the way I see it had this balance area right here, right? And then you break out of it, and if you start going back inside of it, you possibly test the end of the low end of the balance area right here. So does not strike me as bullish. Oh, and I'm sorry, we play puts on this name, right? So so actually this could they could potentially work, but remember that they are 160 puts. I chose them because they were cheap. They had a nice spread and everything. But if it only stops at the 20, I mean, they're gonna decay pretty much because a lot because the 160 is all the way over here. You only have 2 days on that position, and we don't swing weeklies. Remember, you take the whole position off because the data decay is very massive on weeklies into the next day. And if it's yeah, let's say holding this level is bullish, it starts trading below it again, it's bearish, and I will take it into this 163.85 or so. Next up, just gonna go XLK. XLK. If you guys noticed that we had this big, I guess, resistance area around this is technology. It's the May's highs. This is a May month's highs, 149.20, and it broke it recently. And today's candle held above it. The lows were actually the prior month's high, so that's pretty noticeable that it held that. It's trying to stay about the May's high, and that's important because we had a major uptrend right now, and is breaking those highs on the monthly just confirm some higher highs, a whole sequence of higher highs. So it's very working very nicely. So tech is not bearish at all right here, even though it had a down day today at 0.71%. So don't get overly short on this name, especially with Apple, the way we're looking at Apple right now. Okay. Uh, Materials, they fill the gap right here. They still have a secondary gap to fill. We talked about it in the last previous charts in chat that we were coming into this gap and it will possibly stop right here and then we'll take assessment of that. It did. It went a little bit above it, but it did. And so something that we're gonna watch out for right here, right? I see what you guys are saying. It is very blurry because anything that is like bright color will will look even brighter on the stream for some reason. I'll fix that soon. Okay, so we still have that gap to fill. This does not strike me as bullish because it closed way below it. Still red candle, not so bullish. It's still holding up inside this gap fill already. Actually, I'm gonna remove it because it's already been filled. And we still gap on fill right here, and we'll go from there. Um, Communications, we talked about it the last time. We're looking for this trend line right here, but it's not as bullish. It's heavy volume today on the sell side. It had this one. We had some sectors that were inside prior month's range, and this one had an inside month prior this month right here. So July was inside of June, and August have already broke the inside month, and usually your target is the outside month high. So maybe look for a retest of the month high or some kind of a feeble retracement that will take you, yeah, 50% retracement month high. XLC comes down right here, and possibly Meta, Google, um, I believe Google is right. Meta and Netflix, I believe, they'll just start heading up, and they'll look good long opportunities if it goes down to here and then upward, right? So something to watch out for. It'll require a little bit of patience. See if we can get something tomorrow and whatnot. 'Cause, just to end, we're gonna have a consumer discretionary right here. It's holding the prior today's low was the prior month May high. I'm sorry, it's May's high on the monthly, and it is a little bit overextended from any trend line, any EMA, but holding that month's high like that, it still strikes me as bullish. A doji candle, so not a lot happened off of today from the open, even though it's down 1% because of it's from prior day's close. But as traders, we look at what happened on the day, right? We look at the whole picture, but what happened throughout the day, which is basically you open, you come down to a certain level, you come up to a certain level, you close where you open, or very close to where you open, right? So that just shows indecision. Does not show that there's any clear direction. Just shows indecision that there was there was basically nothing done today on the consumer discretionary. Um, so I got a question. Somebody says when Moon GME. I don't know, my friend. I'm not gonna look at meme stocks. Actually, we pulled some bad astray on GME. When it was the little bitty candle. This one was a little bitty candle, and this went crazy. But when that happens, it's gone, my friends. What happens the next day? This gets well. Actually, got BBBY had some news, bearish news, and it was the leader of the beam stocks, and now it got killed by its own father. Uh, so no moon right now for GME. So for GME, you want to see, if you notice, you want to notice that it's pulling back into some key levels, some moving average, and then see if the IV has a decrease. There's not a lot of interest into it, and then you go in, right? You don't go in when IV is at 300, 400%. The move has already happened, but I could totally be wrong, guys. I could totally be super wrong because I did not expect like this day to go this many days green. So who knows? And then get deleted like the usual, and then go and get deleted some. So uh, so we'll see. It says GME back into the previous balance area. Well, yes, I guess if you want to look at it like that, there's a support right here, and if you look at pre-market, it's actually on it. Like it just went right on it. Will it hold? Is this your area to buy? Do you believe that this will hold, the 20 EMA will hold? This is possibly your area to pick up long? That that what's it called? That that dip was probably a gift, right? If you like to if you like to play pick up bottoms or catch falling knives. Ah, pinche. What the fuck are you talking? Why are you talking in Spanish if you're a time taker? You're the whitest dude I know. um, so there's that. I'm gonna look at chat to see if there's any tickers that you guys would like me to see, and we'll end with that. If we with some tickers right real quick. I'm just gonna go actually CRM. I might trade that tomorrow. CRM is on an inside candle, not extending on the 20 EMA right here. Has a major resistance. I know you guys see a lot of scribbles and a lot of lines into this, but has a major resistance at 190. 190. It's back from here, from the left. Um, I'll be looking to trade this right here tomorrow. If you guys want to put it on your watch list, see what happens tomorrow. Because if this breaks, I actually see this increasing into at least a 192s and then possibly 194s, and my ultimate target will be 195.37. So this was on main watch is because it's been holding, 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 holding. EMA catches on a big support, and boom, boom chakalaka. So kind of remind you guys to the Costco play that I pulled a little bit earlier ago. Sorry for all the lines, guys. Sorry. Um, if you notice, like it's just holding some important level, holding, holding. 20 EMA, not overextended anymore, and boom shakalaka. That's where you take it. See, Keck. Keck is asking about pins. Pins right here. All right, let me look at pins real quick. So broke this little uptrend consolidation area. That's not bullish. Has this mega gap right here. Okay. Um, and has this resistance right here. Okay. This might be a short, my friend. Pins is communications. I think XLC can drop a little further down so it can go higher. This could possibly be a short setup. I don't know up to where. This looks like a support right here. If you notice all these candle highs right here. Mm, and from there we'll see. From there we'll see no clear direction. And so that's what I got on pins. May possibly a short opportunity. Possibly a short opportunity. Not a lot of target, like I said, because I see this as a major support. And if it starts going inside the gap, because then you have the 20 right here. But if it starts going inside the gap, then I'll look for a gap fill. I never shoot for the complete gap fill, possibly like 50%, half of it. And then if it starts going inside, even more. So we'll look at that. All right. I don't see any more tickers. Whatever you guys want to throw at me, or we're basically over. All right. We'll just leave it at that, guys. And appreciate you all coming. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll make up a watch list sometime tomorrow morning. I'll throw it out there, and if you guys pay attention, I'll throw it out there. You guys understand a little bit of how I trade, and hopefully we have a very good green day for us tomorrow. Hopefully we're on the right side of the trade. I hope you guys are doing great. See you later.